nearly 6 hard aim down sights for Clicks. 3 elims, Victory Royale locks it up with the 13 points. There's a reason he's qualified in duos, solos, and he's in first place. Well, right now, well done, Clicks. But the action doesn't stop. Again, 49 players left, nearly half of the lobby in this match, and we're on board here with Raised by King Steens. 25 minutes left.
Yeah, definitely was a crazy game right there for Clicks, but jumping into the next game, 25 minutes left on the queue. This is going to be a close one here for Steens, as he is running out of time on the clock for the final opportunity for anyone, guys, to make it through the FortnitE World Cup final stage. This is it. These are just the last moments. So if another 50-man, highly congested lobby, Storm 6 is approaching.
And we're going through Tilted. We talk about all of the natural structures and stuff that is already there. It's so incredibly difficult to move back through them. You can see Steens right now trying to pre-break a bunch of those, but there's a player right next to it. Gets the shot first for the 73 and then forces the player to disengage. Dynamite coming over towards this whole structure. Will Steens push forward for it? First edit, second edit. Players right there phasing through the floor and opts to disengage. No shot coming out yet. Oh, he found him. He owns that ramp.
Oh,
that should be free. Yeah.
Oh my, another 124. Guys, the combat has such a tight crosshair. These shots are just barely connecting at full range right there. That's insane. Such a tough shot to make in a close quarter like that. Beautiful flicks right here. Steens is in it to win it right now, and he is now replenished to max materials. Taking a look around the map now. You see, you have class in this game. Nuke's boss. Again, we see more boombo action here. Will we see some elims being picked up? Not as much as we saw before. That little change to the boombows made a big difference.
Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of scoffed at it at first, like, oh, like 0.25 seconds. That's not a big difference. When you look at small numbers like that in particular, I advise people to think in terms of percentages, right? So yeah, you think, oh, a quarter of a second, that's not that long of a time. But one, a quarter of a second is about the natural reaction speed for a human, and two, that's a 25% increase. So all those like sick full draw flicks you saw before, you don't have the time to do that anymore. Because yes, the extra half second, you're like, oh, what is that? But if it's the reaction time for your average human being, I promise you, the competitive FortnitE player has a much faster reaction time than that. So all of a sudden, they hear any amount of that draw, or you don't get as quick of a release, it's not going to be as effective. Not to say it's not strong, but it's definitely slightly more significant than people thought at first.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Percentages are huge, and we talked about reaction speeds. Nuke's boss has picked up a 3-piece on his rotation and has managed to find
the tree!
So close, hits the tree as Nut walks right past him. He did do the last bit of damage, so
you're rewarded. Any cheat, we're gonna have to look at that, maybe for teaming, because Nut in the tree, I mean, similar names going through the tree, holding up there, just make sure. But no, brilliantly done from Nut. Super unfortunate there that the tree happened to be there, but you know, sometimes luck's on your side and sometimes it's not, as we're on board here with Clarity G. Trying to find an angle, still has his baller as well as 2 shadow bombs, so a lot of utility coming out, has the heavy sniper as well, and you can see him just trying to find a spot to hang out with the baller so he won't get shot down. This is one thing about these baller rotations. No, the players try and hang out off the underside of builds so you won't take additional ammo. You still see about 5 of them trying to make their way up the side. Kazooie gets Boogie Bomb, but is going to be okay. And this rotation is nuts and stacked. Everyone trying to go up and over this hill. As you can see, Nistic, Tech, Twizbot, CWV, Nobu BFO, Prodigy Aces, Tendi, 2Chens, all going down to the Storm and Old Man Mountain. He is patient. He is calm, and he will claim his toll. The lobby goes from 30 to 18 in the blink of an eye.
Just over the mountain, a nightmare situation for these players that do not have mobility. And it's crazy because not one friendly launch pad came down, so they all went down. Everyone paid the price there.
It's like you're looking for recycled utility. It's like, who's going to be the one to do it? Hey, but if nobody is recycling, nobody gets to go. And that was what we had talked about. We talked about how this hill can end up for an awkward rotation. And look at what it spawned as the players now have to rotate back through it. TJ on the high ground, 2 players ripped up into the rift. Casker and Vayne on the low ground. Top 15 remaining right now.
And somehow Clarity still managed to keep the ball with the no health. Literally all it needs is 1 shot here. and it can be taken out, but with all the chaos, all the players, he's managing to just stay in it, just avoid all of these guys, avoid all this problematic.
Largely by doing this, you can see hanging out on the underside of the high grounds builds. He's not going to edit himself and look back down. But right as he does it, gets the build broken. That player isn't going to be looking to knock that ball away. He wants to find Elam's clarity, looks skyward, hits the heavy side, but no knocking down there. Kazui is still in this match. Did just pick up Chief. Vayne also still in the match on the low ground. Kazui going to drop ops to catch himself and then swap right to the combat shotgun. Clarity picking up Kazui there as he continues to work downward. We're into the top 10 now.
Love it. He is looking to now take down this build here. It's not held up on much. And interesting, he had shadow bombs, but he waterfalled all the way down.
It's coming down now.
Someone is coming down. It's his high ground to keep if he can just hold it here.
There's no one there, though. It's fine. Top 5 and high ground now for Clarity all of a sudden. Still has 20 builds and the 2 shadow bombs.
Oh, man, it's going back up and over. Futat tries to land on him. Clarity gets shot. Is he going to be able to continue to keep it? Yes, he does. He keeps his high ground and trades a monstrous shot in return. Wraps him right up. Now it's all his once again, and he's replenished on health.
Great double trap there from Clarity onto Futatu right as he pushed in the box. Kasker and TJ going at it in the bottom right-hand corner. Kasker going to be the beneficiary of that one. And now he's looking. He's not staying with the zone. Using the RPG to drop down Clarity. Clarity has zone position, gets the first shot, and Kasker finds it! He got the one shot. Kasker, you lord! 5 elims, victory royale. 15 points there, pushing him up to 46. What a finish, my Lord Kasker. Courage, that was pretty sick.
It does not get much closer than that. Right down to the final moment. Hits the shot he needs to and wins the game. Folks, I'm back here on the stage with my good friend Dr. Lupo as we've been watching the NA action unfold. Now, Ben, we've also got a ticket to punch, but we'll get to that in a second. First, catch her to speed of what you've been looking out for.
NAE so far putting on an excellent show, and actually
coming up there.
One of the craziest things we've seen thus far up until right now is the standings have been kind of it's a new set of faces.
Yeah, this last week, everyone that's been fighting for those spots has risen through the ranks and is now in that top 10. The question is, who winds up holding on to those spots, as we are still waiting to see that all unfold. Either way, though, those coveted positions, 6 more left. It's coming down to the wire. This is the last opportunity they have to make it into the FortnitE World Cup.
3,000 players from every region played through on Saturday to make it here, but right now, the top of the top of the top for NA East. Here's your standings. A quick refresh of everything we've seen. Like we just saw, Clicks, multiple games so far today, 3 victory royales, only 7. He still has 3 left. 66 points, and he's already qualified.
Yeah.
So you have to keep in mind, too, players like Clarity, Mega, even though all the way down to the bottom, Colorful, those players, if they end up in the top 6 for NA East, all you have to do is just adjust the list of who's going to qualify. So if you freeze it right here, this is one of the craziest things, as we head into the final week of solos, freeze it right here, every single player on this board would end up qualifying because you have 1st, 4th, and 5th pushes multiple positions down. It's insane. And that's consistency, because then you have Clicks, Clarity, Mega, Colorful, all already in the top 10 right now as it stands right now. But like I said, still have games left to play.
Tough thing is Aspect already at 10 games played, won't be able to up that score anymore. We'll see if they can potentially hold on to their position. We know that that's a look at NA East. I believe we also have an update for Brazil.
The final standings for
Brazil.
standings
for Brazil.
There it is.
Node qualifies. Techno Viking in that 2nd spot, so close, but not enough in the end. You see the 9Z boys on there as well. Either way, Clipnode, the one qualifier from Brazil, which means we've got a ticket to punch. We've got a ticket to punch.
Jack,
the World Cup Finals. Ben, I struggled with.
It's gonna work. It has to work. At some point, it's gonna work. All right,
do it.
So I've seen everybody else do it. It's just a little corner tap. I think that I've been hitting the mid.
Ready? Right, go ahead.
Man.
Ben. Let's throw it back to our casters. To the break.
Hey Fortnite fam, Ball2W here to get in the nitty-gritty of competitive Fortnite. The final circles in competitive Fortnite are packed tightly with both action and players, all fighting to get the victory royale. Let's introduce one of the most common techniques used to outlast your opponents in those congested final zones. What is tunneling? Also known as snaking or pathing, this is when you build a protected tunnel while running away from the storm and into the next safe zone. When these safe zones get so small, this becomes very, very important, as there can be opposing players on all sides of you. Here's an example of the most basic tunnel, the straight tunnel. From your base, you simply build straight towards your destination straight ahead of you, with the floor piece below your feet and above your head. This is the most basic and also dangerous version of the tunnel, since you're not covering horizontally. You're exposed from your sides. However, you save materials by doing this. The materials you spend covering your sides quickly add up. Then, if you need to go diagonally to get where you need to go, you'll often see players do the diagonal tunnel. At its most basic, it's very similar. You're just changing directions as you go, once left, once right. This is very useful since sometimes you'll encounter enemies that you want to get away from on the road to the victory royale, or the next safe zone is in a diagonal direction. So just change directions and move, but make sure to stay safe from the storm. Now we talked about how you're exposed from your sides. In both versions, you can add walls to either side, or both left and right, or even in front as well. This gets really hard really fast, and this is why it's so impressive that not only are these high-level players tunneling so fast and without error, but at the same time going for crazy plays on unsuspecting opponents to rack up elimination points as well as placement points. It's a lot to take in, and oftentimes they do things so fast that you can't even keep up. Watching players like Cease, Bizzle, Mongrel, Benji Fishy, and all the players playing in the Fortnite World Cup Online Open play from their tunnels can be jaw-dropping. So there you have it. Tunneling, one of the most important skills in competitive Fortnite. It's pretty simple at its core, but at the high pace of these congested endgames, it gets complicated. That means you need to practice, and make sure to hop in creative mode and do just that. You can practice it in the open on your own island, or use one of the many amazing pre-built training courses that creators have made. This was BallTW, and we'll see you in game.
Actually qualified. It's actually such a relief, such a big achievement, and something I've been working for almost a year now. It feels really good.
I think it's one of my biggest accomplishments. It's just a massive, massive pool of people.
You need to be so incredibly proud of your son being one of the best, one of the best solo Fortnite players in the world.
It's still hitting me like slowly. I was literally just laughing. Like, I was laughing so much.
Wow, I won $50,000 guaranteed, and I'm going to New York.
Yeah, gonna keep 50,000. Oh,
there you go.
As a kid, this is basically all you dream of.
The hype's really real.
It's a game I can compete in, and I think that's why I have so much fun in it.
I'm incredibly grateful for FortnitE for giving me the opportunity to just pursue gaming, and how many friends I've made through this game.
Thank you for. I didn't really believe in myself.
It's gonna be so fun. I love it.